With the world looking on, time is running short to reach an agreement here. 2 weeks of negotiations to limit the effects of global warming are now entering their final hours.
This is our collective moment in history. This is our chance to forge a cleaner, healthier, more prosperous world. We must rise to the occasion.
This will be the decade that determines the rest of human history. We cannot let it slip by.
We're here because this is what science is telling us we have to do. This is fact-based.
Following talks overnight, a revised draft agreement was published this morning, forming the basis of these final negotiations.
What we see here is actually a bit of a rebalancing of the scales. It's more of a focus on finance, more of a focus on adaptation and loss and damage. Not quite enough yet. We've also seen actually that there's been a watering down of the fossil fuel language that was in the initial text. However, it does still remain. And if it sees it through the night, then we will actually have the first climate treaty that has mentioned fossil fuels.
It was always going to be a big ask to resolve issues that have been outstanding since the Paris Agreement in 2015. There are some fresh commitments in place, but there are still significant fundamental disagreements in key areas, including fossil fuels and finance.
Paris was about setting the ambition and the targets. Here was meant to be 5-6 years later was when we said, and here's the plans to meet those targets. And they've fallen short. They really have fallen short. They have not kept their promises. So it's unfortunate, but it looks like we're heading to the next COP, which is now going to be in Egypt, with some very key elements which we would hope would have been addressed here. Not the homework's new, it's not been done.
The summit had been due to be over, but could now stretch into tomorrow.
It's not going to achieve everything, but it's achieved more, I think, than most of the commentators like me thought it would 2 weeks ago. It is keeping on the table this 1.5 degrees. Now, just about is clinging on. We are not seeing the short-term ambition that we really need from countries, but we have seen a massive shift in long-term ambition.
The time for talking is nearly over, the success or failure of COP hanging in the balance.
In these final hours, it is all about political will, political determination and political leadership. And if there is no shortage of that, then I am optimistic that this deal can end up in a better place than people might have thought was possible earlier today or earlier in the week.
Hundreds of campaigners made a noisy exit from the summit, their frustration clear.
COP26 has not delivered on the aspirations of the poor people, especially from the African continent.
It's time to act now, and they're not doing anything for my fellow Chadian. You know, we're suffering and no one is helping us.
My people are dying back in India. We want action, we want to save lives. It's not about numbers, it's not about money, it's not about net zero, it's about saving lives.
They joined demonstrations outside in a final push for progress. Ewan Petrie, STV News.